Texting. 857, what is it? 867-5309. Who was that broad? We still don't know.
Jenny.
Was it Jenny?
Tommy Two-Tone.
Tommy Two.
867-5309.
That's who it was? Tommy Two-Tone?
That's right.
We are Tommy Two-Tone. Mystery solved. There it is.
There
it is. Hey, welcome back to the Cape Falmouth. We are here on vacation, closing up here with our last couple of segments. The highly questionable Audrey Miliaccio back here. IBD for those of you in the know. I don't disagree. For those of you who just realized that life just gets better when you just go onto YouTube and type in those magic words. Here we are. And it is my privilege to have back one of the Patriarchs, one of the originals.
OG,
diehard, Mr. I don't toe the company line, Mr. I don't tell you what you want to hear. Mr. I'll ask the real questions. That's right, Ian Buzz Skinner. Buzz.
It's an honor to be in the chair.
Back. The last time we got together, the Celtics were in trouble, the Patriots were in trouble. What's changed?
Not much.
Not a whole lot. I mean, there's some promising prospects out there, and we will get into both. We're going to start segment one with the state of the Patriots. I wanted to pick this man's brain. We're in the heart of Patriot Nation, and I'm hearing a lot of negatives. We've heard a negative, a positive, and on the fence, and I don't know what. I'm interested to see where he is right now. So we're going to start with the Patriots. First question to you, my friend. Forget DeAndre Hopkins for a minute. Up until this point, the moves they have made so far. Juju Smith-Schuster, the tight end from Miami, Gesicki. Obviously, Bill O'Brien, the offensive coordinator. We now have one. Okay? Drafting this cornerback who was rated number one on everybody's board. McCourty was retiring. They had to get a shutdown corner. This kid looks like he might fit the bill, actually. To this point, what did you think? Good, bad? Are you on the fence? What did you like or not like about this?
I like the moves.
Do you?
I like all of them, especially Gesicki. I'm a Gesicki guy.
He's good.
He's got speed.
He's big
He's
target,
fast,
good hands.
and he always killed us.
He always killed us.
I guess the question is, how does it all look on the field, and how is Belichick going to let the offensive coordinator do his job, or is he going to meddle? Is he going to?
Did he meddle last year?
A little bit.
I think he should have meddled more. To be quite honest. Okay. Well, I agree with yes.
But we have an offensive coordinator.
We have one with a track record
so I want Bill not to get involved.
We don't just have an offer. We have one with a track record of success, and it's not hitched to Tom Brady's bandwagon. This guy, look at what he did at Alabama. And the quarterbacks that came out of that system, one of which is the guy who now works with him in New England now, Mac Jones. They won a national title together.
Do we believe in Mac Jones?
I've always believed in Mac Jones, but I know that I'm not in the majority, and I can't for the life of me figure out why, given what we know about Josh McDaniels and the flop that he has been everywhere he's gone. And if Tom Brady wasn't next to him, I don't think he'd still be in the field.
I think we have to give Mac Jones a pass for last year.
You have to.
We have to.
How can you?
Yeah, a lot of people want to bury Mac Jones. I think
premature. Very premature. I think that. Well, here's the thing, and I said this to Sean when he was on last week about how the reason that everyone's so high on the Jets is because Rodgers is back with his offensive coordinator and he's going to run his offense and all this other shit. So he knows it like the back of his hand. The same thing applies to Mac Jones. Yeah. I mean, these guys are in the SEC. The man completed 72% of his passes, threw over 40 touchdowns and 4 picks in the SEC. And for you people out there, and I'll say this before I say it again, no way does a guy with a noodle arm get a scholarship to Alabama. There's no effing way you're going to tell me Nick Saban looked at this guy, we need to sign him. Are you kidding me? You think Nick Saban is stupid? Nick Saban gets the best of the best, and he gets nothing but the best. And if you doubt that, look at all the Alabama players that are currently, there are 4 starting NFL quarterbacks that are from Alabama. And right now in the NFL. You're going to stand there and tell me that he's a noodle arm, but Nick Saban gave him a full ride to Alabama? Who, honestly, with a brain between their ears would believe that line of shit? Okay, so
I think Bill Belichick has, by the way that he's treated Mac Jones in the media, by the way that he treated him last year, I think Bill has created a lot of negative energy around Mac Jones and the fan base. And intentional, unintentional, I don't know, but it didn't help his confidence. I can tell you that.
No, he got Mac Jones to the point where he went outside the organization for help. And Sean Darcy alluded to the old Godfather rule: you never take it outside the family. Problem with that rule is the Godfather never would have hired two bumbling boobs like Matt Patricia and Joe Judge into the family in the first place. Those two, I told John, they wouldn't have got past the door. They'd had a bullet in their head, both of them.
And Mac had nowhere to go.
He had nowhere to go.
There was nobody in his camp.
That offense was 10th in the league his rookie year, 27 points a game, and he was runner-up to Jamar Chase for NFL Offensive Rookie of the Year. And everyone forgets this. Okay? And that's the power of Matt Patricia.
And I also think when you think about Mac Jones and the way he acted on the field, the frustrations that he felt. Imagine Tom Brady in the same situation.
Lord,
do you think he would have been throwing his helmet? Do you think?
Yeah.
So we're killing Mac Jones. Tom did the same thing when things weren't right.
Yep.
He called it out. And I like Mac's competitiveness. He doesn't want to lose.
He doesn't like losing.
No.
And by the way, he knows who he's following. Mac Jones knows what the standard is here. He came from a very similar background. And that's the standard at Alabama. Mac Jones understands tradition. He understands expectations. He understands if you're not first, you're last. That's where he was groomed at Alabama. So you think he doesn't understand this? You think he hasn't played in big games? Are you kidding? The SEC, you play a big game every Saturday. You play in front of 100,000 nut jobs. In the South, football in the South is religion. Okay, if you don't understand that, you know nothing. Mac Jones was groomed in that environment. In the tough, Alabama is Duke in basketball. Yeah. That's who they are. You don't go to Alabama unless you know you're going to play in front of big lights every Sunday on national TV, and you're a top 5 team, and you're with a chance to win national every year. That's the expectation at Alabama. That's where he came from. It's all he knows. So is he going to sit here and take losing line? No, he's not. To your point, no, he is not. No. And I'm telling you right now, Bill O'Brien with this, and all these beat writers, you've heard them. Oh my God, this offense looks like it's in midseason form. It's all flowing, and he's got no shit, you idiots. He's running his offense again. I'm speaking for the dumbasses in the Boston media who have the gall to act surprised. But then you turn around in the same breath and you say, well, Aaron Rodgers got his guy. Well, why doesn't that apply? It can't apply to one and not the other. That makes no sense. You can't have it both ways, Boston. It's one or the other. It's not both. So if that applies for Aaron Rodgers, who's won jack shit, okay, in 13 years, why wouldn't it apply to Mac Jones and his offense? They have a 1,000-yard rusher. They've got 2 tight ends. Okay, they've got the Baylor burner who nobody believes in, and that's Matt Patricia's fault because only Matt Patricia would take a 6'2.5" guy who runs a 4.2 40 and use it for fucking bubble screens. If that ain't the definition of dumbass, you don't know what. Go look it up. There's a picture of Matt's face right there. And then definition number 2 is Joe Judge right under him. Okay? How do you use a guy like that for bubble? When was the last time the Cheetah just ran a bubble screen? You ever see the Cheetahs run a bubble screen? No. Anyway, Randy Moss? No. Anybody that fast, that tall is going vertical.
It gets to the bigger picture conversation about the fact that Bill Belichick made those moves last year, the fact that he brought in his friends, for lack of a better word, to be coaches who weren't qualified, and to let that happen, and for Bob, for the Kraft family to see that all play out the way that it did. I think this is a really big year. I mean, I think the Krafts definitely stepped in. They have stepped in. They had a big say in Bill O'Brien coming in.
Yeah, I think they've stepped in a lot.
Yeah, I mean,
safe to say.
And this season, I think, is going to be, this could be Bill's last dance.
If they don't perform, and let me be very clear here, because the people that are, and there's a few of them, it's starting to leak out now. People are starting to actually look at this roster. And the Patriots, whether people want to believe this or not, take DeAndre Hopkins out of the equation for a minute. This team is built to win right now. They got a 1,000-yard back. They have 2 tight ends. They've got a 4-2 guy on the outside. They've got Juju Smith-Schuster, who's been a 1,000-yard receiver almost everywhere he's been. He was the number 2 guy. He won a Super Bowl last year. He was number 2 to Kelsey. This guy is 26 years old. He's not over the hill. Devontae Parker, when he's healthy, he was a 1,000-yard receiver in Miami. They've got talent all across the board. What they are missing is a true number 1. Now, again, whether that becomes Tyquan Thornton because Bill O'Brien will know how to use him. Bill O'Brien will know how to use 6'2", 4'2" speed. I'll guarantee you. He won't be doing bubble screens this year, boys and girls. No effing way.
A lot of screens last year.
Yeah, a lot of screen, a lot of bullshit. I don't know what I'm doing. No, that's what that was. Bill O'Brien knows what he's doing. Okay, he's the best coordinator the Pats have had since Charlie Weiss. He's the second one. I'm telling you, when he was here, all they did was succeed, and they've got a slew of talent. And if they get DeAndre Hopkins, they are the favorite. They are the favorite if they get him, because that defense was top 10 last year. it's going to be better. It's going to be better.
It's a hot take right
The
there.
offense is going to be better.
It's
You and I
yeah,
both
for sure,
know.
for sure.
You and I said last year that this boob cost them at least 4 games. At least 4 games. Minimum 4. They won 8 games with this idiot running the ship last year. You're going to tell me that this guy is not going to be, they're not going to be 4 games better with those improvements on offense, that coordinator who's running the quarterback's offense that he knows like the back of his hand. He's got a 6'2" burner on the outside, and you're going to tell me that they're not going to be better?
So what happens? What happens? Let's play this out. We're in the middle of the summer right now. Season starts. Patriots start out 1-3.
I don't think that's going to happen.
But what if it happens?
I would say if that happened, either a major injury occurred to either Matt Judon or the quarterback, because that's another scenario where I see that happen.
But if they are a sub 500 team this season, let's play this out.
If they're a sub 500 team, Bill's in jeopardy.
Okay.
Bill's job is in jeopardy. I would say that's first and foremost, because if this guy's the greatest freaking coach that ever lived, which I keep hearing, with the talent on that defense, with the quarterback who was a Pro Bowler once already, he's only in his 3rd year, with all the talent on that offense, not including DeAndre Hopkins. By the way, if they get him,
I guess the question is, do the players believe in Bill anymore? Does Bill have the gravitas that he used to have? Are they?
I think that's a fair question.
Did he lose the team last year?
I think he did last year. I think the moves he's made, has got them back on his side. He's gone and got some talent. He's gone and got a real offensive coordinator. He recognized there were mistakes made. They were made by him. Let's be honest here. This whole dumpster fire is Bill's fault. Everything that happened last year is Bill Belichick's fault. I don't want to hear about Mac Jones, Sean, crying when he goes down the tunnel because he broke his leg in half and thought his season was over. I've seen many football players cry when they think their season's over, going off on the cart. You're not gonna sit there and say that about Mac Jones. Oh, my QBs don't cry. I've seen Tom Brady cry. Mm-hmm. I've seen a lot of quarterbacks cry. So that's a little. If that's your reasoning, Sean, for not backing Mac Jones, that's ridiculous. Okay, that's the whole.
So here's what I think. This is my concern.
Okay.
If the team is not winning, will it become? Will Belichick continue to drive this wedge and make it a Mac Jones thing to divert attention from him?
He drafted
the quarterback,
Mac
and
Jones.
it's not me.
He drafted him. To sit there and throw Mac Jones under the bus would be to throw himself under the bus. He picked him.
Agreed.
You can't sit there.
But did he? Was it Bill's pick, or was that a pick that went? They went above him?
He let Tom Brady walk out the door. Cam Newton came in here, fell flat on his face because he had no weapons, by the way, which is why Brady left in the first place, because Bill wouldn't do that. Okay, then Bill turns around and cries, last 4 years are 27th in spending, and takes a shot at Robert Kraft. And Robert Kraft fires right back and goes, "Oh, really? Maybe we would have spent if you asked for it."
I guess that's what I'm getting at. Is
Bill
it time?
Bill can't run from this.
Is it time to move away from Belichick? Is his ego getting in the way?
If they are not in the playoffs and win at least one game, his job's in jeopardy. If they're healthy, the only way he gets around this is a major injury. That's the only way he gets a pass.
When the
because you can't predict that.
Yeah. When Bob Kraft heard that they dropped the Patriots from the Sunday night game, can you imagine how humiliating that was for him?
God.
That the Patriots are now a second-tier plan that nobody wants to see on national television.
No, because there's nothing to see. To quote Damon Woody, they are mediocre right now. And look I get why you say that. But I also saw what happened to Detroit after Matt Patricia got fired. There was a quarterback there named Jared Goff. Came out pretty highly rated. Took the Rams to a Super Bowl. We remember him. We saw him. Matt Patricia destroyed that kid in 2 years. Second Matt Patricia left. Look at his numbers last year. Look at Detroit. Look at the team. They went from 3 wins to 9. They damn near made the playoffs. They went into Green Bay and sent the Packers home when they were playing for nothing. And the Packers were playing for everything. Okay? That's Jared Goff. I know this guy has a track record for destroying teams and players, but Mac Jones is not going to get a pass for this when he's done it in other places. And Joe Judge, that ass clown, Detroit, the Giants, their 5-win team, he leaves, they win. They go to the playoffs and win a game?
I just think...
this is who was running the ship last year on offense.
You can't have a head coach not supporting your starting quarterback. It doesn't work. It doesn't work.
Nope.
So when they win, it's going to be Mac. when they lose, this dynamic is not healthy for a team.
There are a lot of things that are in the Patriots' favor going into the season that really nobody's looked at yet. Okay, one, most of that defense returns intact.
Strong D.
They added a shutdown corner who's 6'1", by the way. Number two, they brought back a coordinator who's got nothing but success everywhere he's been as an offensive coordinator. Okay. Three, they've got a young quarterback. All that guy does is win, and if he loses, he doesn't like it. He doesn't settle for it. Okay. They've got a 1,000-yard running back. They got 2 tight ends. They've got a number 2 and a number 3 in Juju Smith-Schuster and Devontae Parker. Okay, and they got Kendrick Bourne floating out there somewhere.
He's talented.
Okay, he's talented too. They've got a ton of talent, and
Gesicki
is very talented. Don't underestimate what him. Hunter Henry, his first year, had a good year.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you right now, this guy knows how to use the pieces that he has. He's done it everywhere he's been. To think he's not going to do that, and I got news for you. I'm not sold on Rob Saleh in New York. I am not sold on McDermott in Buffalo. I ain't sold on that four-eyed geek in Miami either. No one's going to tell me those three are geniuses. I mean, and I can go down the list and I give you examples of every one of them. Saleh last year was taking receipts. Remember that shit? Oh, we're taking receipts. And he lost 7 in a row. How are those receipts looking now, you jackass? Fraud. Total fraud. McDermott, at the OTAs, I don't know where Diggs is. I don't know. He's not here. I'm concerned. 24 hours later. Oh, yeah, he came in, passed the physical, got his playbook. He had an excuse absence. I excused him and let him go 24 hours after he said he didn't know where the hell he was. Are you kidding me? You're going to hitch your wagon to that clown?
I think the Miami coach is a fantasy
football player. This guy's a fantasy football guy who, please, he got handed a Ferrari, and Tua Tagovailoa is 1 hit from retirement. He's 1 hit from retirement. I don't care how much Brazilian jiu-jitsu he takes. Okay, all it takes is 1 hit from the blind side, and all the jiu-jitsu in the world ain't going to save you from that. Okay?
We talking 8 wins, 10 wins?
I said 12.
12.
Without DeAndre Hopkins. With him, 14. And I've said this every time I've been on the air discussing the Patriots. This is the year. I'll tell you why. It's just not all the things that we led up to that. It's the simple fact that Bill Belichick is on the hot seat and he knows it. If this guy has any competitive bone left in his body, and by the way, he wants to catch Don Shula. And I will tell you this, behind closed doors, Robert Kraft has told him 2 things. You can catch Don Shula, but it may not be here. Meaning, if you don't start winning right now, it won't be here. And he has already said this publicly. Yeah, I'd like to see him do it, but we're not going to win 7, 8 games and do it. We want to be in the playoffs and want to be a contender. Robert Kraft has made this. Whose car is that? Robert Kraft has made this abundantly clear, and he's done it publicly.
Yes.
He has publicly said he expects this team to win. And I can news for you, they're going to go after Hopkins. They're not done.
No, they're not.
They're not done. And by the way, that dude Dalvin Cook who's out there floating around, don't be surprised. Robert Kraft is done listening to this crap. He wants a winner, and he wants it now. And the other thing is, Belichick convinced him Brady was over the hill. How'd that work out?
Not so good.
Robert Kraft is mad. Robert Kraft did not want Tom Brady to leave. He trusted Bill. So Bill owes him. And I guarantee you, Robert Kraft has told him, you told me he was done. And this was the right thing to do. And he went and wins the Super Bowl.
To me, 10 wins would be really strong. 14 seems a little bullish.
That's if they get Hopkins. Without him, they're 11 to 12 without him.
Okay.
But again, and they're in the best division of football. But I think they're the best all around.
Here's my take. I think Belichick, fastball is gone. I think he's an impediment to the Patriots organization. It's time to move on from him. And I know it's gonna end ugly, but it's time. It's over for Bill Belichick.
Which, by the way, if that's what it is, I'm not going to lose any sleep over it. Because I'm still mad at him for letting Brady walk out the door.
I've had enough. I had enough of him.
Yep. Sean Darcy said the same. Like 7 wins. They don't get DeAndre Hopkins 7 wins.
I'm sick of his deal with the media. I'm sick of it.
I love the anger. I love that 3 years later, finally people are listening to the shit I've been saying for 3 effing years. This clown made the mother of all mistakes, playing the greatest player of all time walk. And he's never going to live it down. I got news for you. This is his last shot. And I don't think it's going to be him. They're not going to win because of Bill Belichick. They're going to win because of the players in that locker room and the offensive coordinator. And he's going to be, he made the right moves this offseason. Finally, he did a lot of good stuff. But he had to. He had no choice. He had no choice. It was this or that. It was, Robert Kraft is not. I'm telling you right now, he has got his fingers all over this. He does. He's got his. You can see it. He's got his fingers all over this. He's done with this mediocre bullshit. They're going to win with you or in spite of you. And if they don't win this year, barring major injury, I think Bill's gone. I think Bill knows it.
It's time for a change of Foxborough.
He either puts up or he's gone. That's it. This is year 4 without Brady. One playoff appearance. That was a 47-17 bum blasting.
That doesn't count.
It was a bum blasting. It doesn't count. The only reason you got the one win against Buffalo was because you went up there in a goddamn nor'easter and they couldn't throw the ball. That's the reason you beat them. The one time you beat them was because Buffalo couldn't throw. So, and by the way, his best weapon against Josh Allen was Tom Brady. Tom Brady owned Josh Allen. Owned him. Okay, so he's gone, Bill. He's all gone. So you better groom this quarterback. You better let this kid play, and that's why he got Bill O'Brien. This was no accident.
He didn't want Bill O'Brien.
No, but he knows he needs him.
He has to have
him. He has to have him. He doesn't have a choice. The best way to get the best out of this kid is to have him play an offense that he played and was successful with. That's the best way to do it. And by the way, this happens all over the league.
Yeah.
You look at every one of these quarterbacks that are successful. They've got a number 1 receiver, which Mac Jones still on paper doesn't have yet. Okay, but 2, they're running an offense that they know. All of them.
Yeah.
All of them.
And you can't have a young quarterback with it. One quarterback coach, one offense coordinator 1 year, another one the next year. I mean, we're like the Detroit Lions right now. I mean, that's what we are. That's what we look like. If I'm Mac Jones, I came to the Patriots. I'm on my 3rd offensive coordinator
in 3 years.
It's
bad.
This isn't
bad.
This is what he was thinking about.
It's bad. But the good news is the coordinator that's in here now is a guy he's won with. He worked with him for 4 years at Alabama. He knows the guy. Guy knows him. They know the system. Bill O'Brien knows everything that Mac Jones does well. He coached him for 4 years. He knows everything he does well. That's huge, boys and girls. That's huge. That means that Bill O'Brien's going to put this kid in the best position to succeed, in spite of his head coach.
I'm pulling for the kid.
I'm pulling for the kid because the kid got put.
Last year was horrible.
The kid got put in a no-win situation.
Horrible.
You can't. That kid got put in a no-win situation. You can't expect. I mean, please. Matt Patricia's record of destroying things is from here to freaking the Outer Cape. Okay, from where I am sitting, family, is from here to the Vineyard. Of all the things he's destroyed in his life as a football coach, whatever you call him, I can't believe the Philadelphia Eagles hired him. I still think that is the dumbest move Philly ever made. And if he's anywhere near the locker room, they're going to rue the day they did this. He better be at the hot dog stand. He better be in the mascot suit. He better be out somewhere, anywhere else but on that sideline or in that coaching box. Because if he is...
No disrespect to one of the mainstays of IDD, but if any city deserves Matt Patricia, Philadelphia, you get it. That's what you deserve. Because you're a loser city.
You are a loser city.
Sorry about that.
No, dude, don't be sorry.
I got good friends there, but you guys deserve it.
You deserve it.
You love being miserable.
Anybody who can throw batteries at Santa Claus.
They love being miserable.
In a game you were winning, I might add. No, Philly deserves this. And that's why. And the thing is, on paper, Philly's still probably the team to beat in the NFC. I think they are. But I mean, they're going to get there. No. And by the way, they switched out both their offensive and defensive coordinators. You know who they're playing week 1?
Who?
The Patriots.
Ooh.
In Foxborough, Tom Brady night. Tom Brady comes home that night.
Could be an ass whooping.
Looks like a perfect storm to me. Looks like a perfect storm. I'm just going to say, it's like a perfect storm. I'm just saying. So when the Pats start out 3-1 or 4-0, which I believe they're going to do, because I think this is a desperation thing. This is desperate. This is put up or shut up. If they miss the playoffs this year, barring major injury, Bill Belichick is done. It's done. I believe that. Yeah. I don't think Robert Kraft. And by the way, Robert, let's be clear. And Sean Darcy nailed this. Robert Kraft also understands legacy and tradition, history. He's got the greatest quarterback of all time under his arm. He's got the greatest tight end of all time. He wants Bill Belichick to go down as the greatest coach of all time. But he also knows that he has to win a Super Bowl without Tom Brady to validate it. Because if he doesn't, it'll always be, but he never won without Brady. In fact, his record right now without Brady, I'll say it again, America, 77-87 and 1 playoff win. That's Jeff Fisher.
That's Cleveland Browns.
That's Cleveland Browns shit.
Cleveland Browns, Bill Belichick.
Mediocre. So we're going to take a quick break. Segment 2, we are going to talk green. We're going to talk green. My boy, last time we were here, he had a message for Grant Williams. Curious as to what his message is going to be today. It's the feel good. IDD. The highly questionable one. The skin dog. Buzz in the hizzy. Segment 2 coming right back. Boston Celtics, baby. You bet your ass.